Hi, this is Jilly Bling. Today's project is using Silly Goose. So this stamp set, the minute I saw it, particularly the two geese doing a fist bump and it's saying goosebumps on it, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. And you know, if you watch my videos, I like to say that I don't like to do animal cards, but I keep doing them over and over, so I guess I'm fooling myself. But I love this one. I just love it. Look at these samples. Cute. This is the first one I did, and I really like this one. I kept thinking I need to add a little bit of color to the flowers, but I think that would take away from the simplicity of the goose. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Sending a big honkin' thanks. And you know what? A few times I've said that in the past, and I don't know why, but this stamp set just hits home with me. Okay, here we go. Goosebumps. Aren't they cute? So I want to do this, another one like this today, and the fresh freesia. And then, of course, birthday. And this one I wanted to try putting the words on the circle. And I tried to move the circle down, and it's like, oh no, that's not working. So it is up a little bit high, but I think it still works just fine. And I like the little grass. Oh, a silly goose told me it's your birthday. This silly goose forgot. Sending a gaggle, get that? Goose gaggle of good wishes. Very, very clever. Very cute. So, let's get started. And the card, it's actually, hopefully, not too easy. But it's easy. And we have a few more days left of celebration. So if you want some of these papers, for instance, the dotted fresh freesia paper, that is, well, you know what, this one isn't. This is, I knew I started my cheat sheet somewhere. This is celebration paper. Ooh, isn't that pretty? And then, of course, the black and white. This is wonderful paper. Oh, the dotted fresh freesia is celebration paper. Then there's that huge pack, 48 sheets, and that's where the stripes come from. And I think also this other granny apple green pattern. So, if you want free stuff, now is the time to order before the end of the promotion, which ends at the end of January, so today and tomorrow. And if you haven't ordered a place, if you could use host code, it's right here, that'd be appreciated. Okay, so let's make fresh freesia. Oh, this one I want to stamp the goosebumps on it and heat emboss. And these are just like little scrap papers. After I was cutting out the black layers, I was like, well, that's a perfect size. So I came out after my shower, dressed ready to go, and Tony looked at my little sweatshirt here. And he says, well, that's new. And I've been on this kick where if I don't wear it, it has to go. So I've been wearing all kinds of new things. I said, actually, it's really old. He goes, well, that's a pretty color. And I'm like, well, thank you. It's fresh freesia. And he looks at me like, girl, you're crazy. Just because I talk in Stampin' Up! Colors. He doesn't know. He just thinks that I come up with these names. So on this little paper, using Versamark, I'm going to stamp Goosebumps because I want to do a fresh freesia card like this. Goosebumps. There it is. Okay, and then that goes into, oh, and I didn't tell you, layering circles is where this circle comes from. I kind of wanted the stitch-shaped ones, or the stylish shapes, but mine are all being busy. Okay, white embossing powder. And I stamped it crooked, but that's okay because I have to trim it. It's too big right now. Oh, and you know what? On one of these, I did the words, look how I did the words just a little bit different. Never done anything like that. Came out kind of cute. Not this time. We're going to do it just like that. So, make this smaller, and then trim it. And I already know, so many of you are going to be like, I can't trim like that. But, you go, see how it's just a little bit away from the words? And then just keep equal distance the whole way. And because it's so small, and when you look at the card, what does your eye see? Your eye sees the adorable goose, geese, gaggle. It's not looking at, did you cut that straight? That's good. Okay, so I think we're done with Versamark. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, and this little thing right here, which is driving me crazy. This is from right here. So at first I cut out the goose, and I thought, well, when I stamp the goose on here, I could just rely on the string. So there's a little cut right there and a little cut right over here. And but because the balloon was so far up, I had to use this string. Because I used this string, then I had to go and pull up that string. Then I had to get the little swirlies. So if you're making this card, just beware of, and this is all hand cut, that you need to cut out the whole thing. But we're not making that one today. Okay, so here is black, and I'll put all the paper cut sizes on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. These are inside papers. So the designer paper, I cut this to 4x4. The black is 4x4, and the designer paper is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to cut it from one point to the other. This one is already done, but I'll show you. Hold on. Okay, and then this kind of stumped me. I'm like, okay, now it needs to be cut from here to here. How am I going to figure out the middle? And this point is going to be up at the top. I'll tell you. You turn it upside down, put it into your paper cutter right against the top edge, and have this point go to the cutting area. Like that. So pretend like this is where the blade is going to cut. Put it up against the top. See how that point goes right into the groove of the cutting area? As long as this is flat against the top, it works out perfectly. It's easy. I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so I want to do a goosebumps, and which side of the paper? Well, this freesia one I did the flowers, so how about like this? Here, and here. These two I'll save for the next card. Okay, here, and here. That's going to go on the goose. And I don't have any of this pre-done. You know how I'd like to have it stamped, pre-done? Didn't do it this time. Okay, so we're going to stamp goosebumps, fist bumps, right here. And since I have it out, I did it on the inside. You know what? Let's pretend like these are friends, and then it's going to turn into birthday on the inside. So, inside paper, I'll keep that little black backer so we could see the perimeter of the paper. Okay, and birthday Goose is marching on through with a balloon. Oh, maybe I could do a bunch of them. If I do a bunch of them, I have to color a bunch of them. But they're really cute. Okay. They're marching through. Maybe I could get like one hole. It's like a parade. They're coming through. And you know, I do this every time. And then when it comes time to color, I'm like, what was I thinking? It's cute though, isn't it? Oh, and then the grass. I'm liking the grass. And yeah, I'm going to be adding color to that too. Okay. And then the words. Sending a gaggle of good wishes. And this one has nothing to do with Silly Goose forgot your birthday, because this one remembered. Okay, and all you have to do is you have to sign your name. You don't even have to come up with words of what to write. And coloring, because they're primarily white, it doesn't take too long. So, you have to bear with me. Maybe we could do a little bit of, because some people, when I see them cut, it's like, oh, I know why you don't like cutting. So this one, when you cut, if you can, see how my left hand is maneuvering the paper? Oh, the little, hold on. Because I'm going to cut off their sparking knuckle sandwich, the sparkles. I'm going to cut those off. Therefore, I have to find that circle and stamp it on there. Okay, as soon as I get done cutting out, I'll do that. Oh, okay, so back to cutting. So some people cut and they use the tip of their snips. I'm saying rarely should you use the tip of your snips, because when they cut, they do this. It's like, oh, that looks bad. So try to keep it in a fluid motion. However close you want to get to the line art is good. And just have the other hand, your left hand, or your less dominant hand, the one that's not cutting, that's going to be doing the driving. So my right hand that's doing the cutting, its only job is to squeeze down on the handles at the right speed. That's like doing two things with two hands, and they're different things. When you were a kid, were you able to pat your head and rub your stomach? Or did you mess up your hair with a pat? I would pat it in a circle. Two hands, two things. Are you trying it now? Are you trying to pat your head, rub your tummy? Goosebumps. I'm so happy that, oh, okay, I'm going to use the tip. Snip. I'm so happy that COVID restrictions are easing up a bit. So goosebumps are not, fist bumps, goosebumps are not as important. For a while there, that was taking a risk. Okay, so we have the wedding coming up in just a few days. Very exciting. And one of my jobs was to get Michaela, because you know how you need something old, new, borrowed blue. And a few people, when I mentioned that to them, they looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, that's just something that you do, is the bride needs something old, new, borrowed blue. So I asked her a few weeks ago, do you have your old, new, borrowed blue? And she says, I have my, I should be able to figure this out, but I'm in charge of blue and borrowed. So today, through the mail, I got some beautiful handkerchief, and they have some delicate little blue flowers embroidered on them. And you would think, well, you just need one. But when I read the kids' vows, like here amongst myself, like right here on the back of the paper, what does it say? Today, we use the wedding ring to symbolize our connection. I mean, when I start reading any of it, or when I read what they're going to say to each other, I'm all teared up. If I watch the wrong or the right commercial, anyhow, I need one of them handkerchief. So I got a whole bunch of them, because if I'm that bad, I'm sure others are going to be that bad. Look at that. That's a whole bunch of Goose. Okay, so this is going to go on here. So the circle from Layering Circles, I have it here, ready to go. So on this, because I cut off their, you know, like the action figures, the like how Batman and Robin, they go kapang, and they have that, you know what I mean. I'm going to put that on here, right? There. The whole stamp was just to get the kapang, kapow, kapow, because this will go over the top. Cute. And there it is. Okay. It looks like we're done with the card already, huh? Actually, it's kind of cute just like that. Okay, let's start assembling it. So, the black paper, and because this is so perfectly laid out, I'm just going to leave it like that and borrow this black paper. Don't tell anyone. Okay. It goes right on the front. Oh, and I can decide what layout, huh? So the layouts, this one opens this way, so it stands up. So going this way, they stand up really nice. Going this way, they're cute. They might stand up, but when I had them all displayed, I do that. So when I come in the morning, I'm like, oh, look at all that. But all of these ones, they were kind of flattened out. Therefore, I'm going to do it standard card way. Okay, so that's there. So now to attach these pieces of designer paper, I'm in a glue mode. Oh, I didn't tell you what the borrow it is. I'm going to have Michaela borrow one of my little pearl bracelets. And I don't know if she's going to wear it or she's just going to tuck it into her bra kit. I don't know what she's going to do. But at least she'll have all the bases covered. Okay, stripes. And stripes. This paper is so cute. You know, I think I need to give someone credit for this layout. I'll definitely put in the description. I didn't write it down somewhere. I'll put it in the description. So then this one goes here. So when I'm laying these down, I'm focusing on this little reveal of the black paper. And don't worry hardly at all about the inside, the tips and how they come together. Chances are they'll come together perfect, but the circle is going to cover it, so you'll hardly see the center of it. Like that width is a lot bigger than that one. Actually, all the other samples are a little bit better, but that's okay. I found out it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so there it is, not perfect at all. And this is going to go in here. These have to color. That's going to go in there. I have a lot of coloring to do. Whose idea was that? Really cute. And I want to put some string. On each of them I used a little bit of baker's twine. This one, I just put a tiny little bow. But the baker's twine, I think it's Baker Twine Essential Pack. It has 4 or 5 colors in it. And oh my gosh, I use that. And what's nice is I use all of the different colors. Gotta love that. So this one, I want to use linen thread. So to do that, it's going to go off. And dimensionals, I'm going to put a bunch in the middle. And that's just to hold the baker's twine. It's a little excessive, but that's okay. So to do the baker's twine, get a bunch, hold on to it with your finger. Then I could do this, but that's going to be too small of a loop. So I'm going to stretch out my pinky, stretch out, and that's as big as my pinky goes. Spin it around. So now I have 2 rounds. 1, 2. Now, take the ends, do a figure 8, and just plop it on there. Okay, you could say, that's a mess, but that's okay because the dimensionals are there. At this point, we can adjust it, and it could be however you want it to look. And the circle is going to cover up all the dimensionals. I'll put more dimensionals on here. But do I really want the baker's twine there? I think I want it more in the black and white area. Maybe to cover up that big old gap. So I'm going to adjust it a little bit. And I don't want them to be the exact same. Like when you pull these out, see how the loop is the exact same size? I want them to be a little bit different. So I'll take this one, make it a little shorter. Whoo-wee! Those are curly. And I'll use some glue to kind of hold them in place right how I want them. Those are getting all curly too. That's like my hair lately. Getting all curly. But you might like that. It's kind of freeform and wild. Make that one shorter. This one, I like that one. Maybe down into the freesia a little bit. Okay, so I wonder if no. I know what I could do. Because I could hold them in place. Kinda. Okay, that's just a start to holding them in place. That's good. Dimensionals. Now I'm going to use liquid glue. Right where I know this is that's going to cover up a lot. So it's just going to tack them in place. Because I like right where they are. And I'm hoping that the glue absorbs into the linen thread, which I know it will. This isn't going anywhere. Okay, so that's going to go there. So I definitely need more dimensionals. Definitely. I'll put them by the outside edges. fresh freesia. I'm going to miss fresh freesia. I like that color. Okay, so I'm going to put this on so that the geese are straight. And the circle is centered. Might not be perfect, but that's okay. And there it is. Okay, glue, dry, dry. And in the meantime, let's do some coloring. So, their beak and their feet are going to be pumpkin. On the samples, I did some in poppy. I did some in Cajun. They have really different looks. I guess it's, okay, I'm going to make a pun. I guess it's what kind of geese you have in your neck of the woods. Get it? Get it? I can't do jokes ever. So this one is poppy. And this one is Cajun. I didn't turn my phone off. And I know if it rings, it turns the video off. Are we still going? Yeah. Okay, pumpkin. Oh, and oh my gosh, I have all those geese on the inside. Whose idea was it to stamp so many? And I don't have any more stories. After the wedding, I might. Not yet. Some people have stories. I mean, they have like real stories that you could write a book about. Mine are all about, just like on my phone, the pictures, it's all stamping or the dog. That's about it. Okay, and so the bird, geese, do a little bit of, this is smoky slate light. I just want a few shadows. There, that's his elbow pit. You have to keep all these markers nearby for the inside. See, that's not too much coloring. I'll do the color lifter to kind of soften it up a bit. Coloring. So I'll show you in just a minute. When you color with and use the color lifter, which can be to fix your whoopses, but when you're coloring it to kind of soften the edge, like when you look at this, see the gray, the smoky slate right there, how you could see it's white and then it goes to gray. When you're doing the color lifter, if you do it right over the edge of the smoky slate, it will soften the line so it looks like it's blended. It looks a little bit more natural. And I have kind of a tip on this. This is so small it might be hard to show you, but I'll pull out a scrap paper and I'll show you like a good version and what not to do. Let me finish this up. And all of that, by no means am I a pro, but all of that is just because of playing, trying around with it. It's like, well, why did that happen? And then sometimes those questions of why did that happen, you could use it to your advantage. So let me find a goosebump paper. So I'm going to show you Smoky Slate Dark. A good version and a bad version. And I'm purposely using the darker blend just to show you, it'll make it easier to see what I'm talking about. So when you're using a color lifter, it will remove about 90% of the color. So if you color outside the line, it's great to have 90% of that whoops gone. When you're doing it for shading, I like to start outside of the area because I want it to be shaded here. Like say that his tummy is down there. Start outside and then drift in, kind of cover it a little bit and then come back up off of it. Do it again and just let it dry. So that's what I consider to be, well, it didn't work out that good, a good version. A lot of people, when they do it, they start right in the middle and they're like, well, I want all of that done. So what it does is it takes the pigment from the smoky slate dark, and can you see how it kind of made a puddle, and it's really dark around the outside of where you colored it in, where this looks a little bit more natural. So if you think about that, when you do smoky slate light, because this is smoky slate dark, it's the same concept, where if you go from over here, drift in, cover it just a little bit, and then come back up off of it. Then when you do this, once again, start from here outside in the clear area. We're starting our puddle. We're pushing the puddle in on itself and then easing up. And if that line right there is too dark, give it just a second and do it again. And the color lifter, it doesn't make things like on here, on this one, it doesn't make the color perfectly smooth. It makes it a little bit kind of freckled. And like see right there how that looks? That is not perfectly smooth blended, but it just softens the line between the smoky slate light and the no color at all. I hope that helps a little bit. If nothing else, like when you look at this one from afar, that one definitely looks better. This one where you started right in the middle and you have that dark pigment puddle around the outside edge, that doesn't look good. And here you can see how it's kind of, I keep on wanting to say malted, but that makes me think about a chocolate shake, so I'm probably saying the wrong word. But just play around with it on a scrap paper. And when you know what to expect from the markers, you'll probably have really good results. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. These are cute. Okay, so I'm going to put these on with dimensionals and some parts of them glued. I don't know how I have this half-used pack of dimensionals with papers on them. Ugh. Okay. And papers end up everywhere. So one on the head. And I will glue the feet. I think the feet only. Keep that nearby for the words, the goosebump words. Okay, come to life now, you little geese, you cute geese. Isn't that cute? Oh, and I've got the fun, they're over here in a pile, embellishments. Okay, and then Goosebumps is going to go bridging across from right here, might need to be bigger, to right here. Goosebumps. Cute, cute, cute. I like it in the freesia. I think it looks good in the Blushing Bride too, but the freesia, I like me some freesia. Okay, where are those embellishments? What are these glossy dots? I kind of want to use the purple. It's probably grape. It's probably too dark of a color, but you know, So, oh, that works just fine. That looks like he's pooping it. Can't have that. Right there. 3 of them. Okay. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so for the inside, somebody went crazy. Okay, let's just get it. Pumpkin, dark, dark, dark. Then the feet, dark. I like to do the dark first because to blend the seam in between the light and the dark, you need the light. So you might as well do the dark first. Oh, what color balloons? I didn't even think about that. Because this one, there's no balloons on the outside. It has to be some bright color. I colored outside the line. Oops. Tony has another bus trip tonight, which means I'll be in here until bedtime. Okay, so a little bit of shadowing, smoky slate light, just a little bit. And because I know I'm going to put the color lifter over it, and it's going to do that thing where it kind of smears it, I don't have to get right up on the line because it's going to smear it. Whose idea was it to stamp all this? That's crazy. So, when you do yours, don't stamp as much. Probably one of these geese in here would have been plenty cute and got the point across. But then you'd have to write more. Oh, under their hat. That would cause the shadow. Oh, and I'm going to do the grass too. Okay, the balloon. I don't know what color to do the balloon. Freesia, probably freesia. Fix my color outside the lines area. Oh, right here too. With a color lifter, it takes just a minute to do its thing and soak in. So as I'm coloring it, it's like, oh, it needs more. But then before you know it, all of the smoky slate light will be gone. Shadow, shadow. Those smoky slate shadows underneath the wing, that sure makes the wing look nice and bright and white. So what color balloon? I think I was thinking freesia, but then the hat has 2 colors. Maybe green, like the grass. The duck is done. Goose, it's a goose. That goose is probably saying, I'm a goose. I could do them alternating. No, there's only 2 of them. They're all going to be freesia balloons. Should have started with the dark color. Oops. Excuse me. So this is Freesia Light. Let's finish off the balloons and then add color to the hats. The hats are going to be Granny Apple and Freesia. Those balloons are coming out cute. Okay, so Freesia dark, Freesia dark, the hat, the pom-pom, dark, dark, pom-pom. Light. Fix that little seam. Okay, Freesia is done. Now, Granny Apple. Start with the dark. Well, that looks cute. Definitely springtime on my cards. Maybe not outside. Grass. Grass. Okay. And Granny Apple Light. Did that take too long? I don't think so. The inside of this card looks like a party. Oh, I'm liking that grass. I feel all artsy. Okay, I think we're done. Sending a gaggle of good wishes. You know what I like about this is the hint of color and then all the black and white. I like that. I guess I woke up in a Freesia mood. It is just the same color, huh? Alrighty. Oh, so cute. Okay, so you get this in the mail. Wouldn't you love getting this? Here, pull it out of the envelope. Goosebumps. Sending a gaggle of good wishes. That's cute. This is a cute card. It's a cute set. Thank you for watching, and give me a thumbs up, like, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.